Hey guys, Rob Mitchell here. Thanks for joining me for this how to day trade continuation bars using the TradeTrader Oscillator order flow patterns advanced day trading concepts and topics. First off, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. There's a risk of loss trading futures. This is a chart of the Emini S&P. And I'm going to talk about this as we go here. There are many metrics that can be used for single bar TradeTrader Oscillator patterns that are relative or absolute. And I'm going to show you in this video relative relationships of TTO patterns, okay? And so as we go, that'll become clearer. I'm going to cover a couple things first so you can get more out of the video as you view it. It's always super important to have a vision for what the market's trying to do and what the most likely direction for range expansion is at any given time in your trading. The future appears as imagination. And would you want anything less than that? You want to have some kind of a vision as to what the market's doing. Further, a future plan cannot survive contact with a negative past. Destiny of a trade is density, and the low density is populated until it's full, and this creates what we perceive as the past. Traders, in order to be successful, operate on the future and not perceiving the future in just this right way for a day trader can be perilous. So if you don't fully own these concepts and wish to be successful as a day trader, do the manifesting your future course. I'll provide some resources at the end of the video. At a minimum, you want to go over there and get the free resources that are available at the link that I'll give you. It's also super important to identify where the market is being pulled as opposed to moving at random or out of cycle. This concept of pulling is super important. These trading techniques, I teach them in my trading room daily, and they're an important part of successful trading. Now, I have the chart up here of the E-mini S&P, and this is just the end of the day today, not any certain place. And I have two TradeTrader oscillators on this chart, and I've got some other things on the chart. I'll provide you a list of that in a bit. But our focus here is going to be on these Smart Super Renko price bars on the E-mini S&P and the TradeTrader oscillator in panels 2 and 3. Now, one simple relative pattern that we can look at is simply to look for TradeTrader oscillator needle density. Yeah, needle density. I call these needles. Yeah, these needles, and the markets tend to trade away from areas of overlap where the density is a little higher. So if you're at a certain point, you're looking back, and you have a lot of bars that you're touching to the left as you go back, that's what I would call needle density. As you're looking back, yeah. And there's a lot of different ways that you could decide to see that kind of patterning as it's developing, so it's actionable for the future trends tense in your trading. So one example of this would be bar needle overlap. Yeah, bar needle overlap. So if the market's going up and I'm getting a good bit of overlap there, good bit of overlap in the needles, that is bullish. Now, part of what I wanted to show you in this video was trading on continuation bars, because most of the time, or most users start with the reversal bars, and I recommend that you start with the reversal bars. Yeah, I recommend that you start with the reversal bars, but then that you move on to or learn how to trade continuation bars as you get better with that. So you can see here you have needle density going higher. Yeah. It gives you a nice scalp, and if you hang on to it, it could carry you out. And it gives some nice needle density here, overlap. You see on this particular one, you don't get much density or overlap. Yeah. And then I generally don't suggest that you trade a first leg, and then for the second leg, you might be looking for some overlap in there, going lower over in here. As this comes out of the gate and starts blowing through this prior level over here, you start seeing the needle density here. And I'll discuss that a little bit more. That's the general concept. And I'll discuss this other trap trader oscillator in this third panel in just a second. Yeah. So you can refer to a pattern such as this that we're showing here as defended. And in other words, the order flow of the prior direction bar has been defended, indicating there are parties present that are pushing it in the same direction. Somebody was selling in here. Now, somebody was selling in here as it came down here and sold, and then it comes back through, and then they get into trouble up over in here. Somebody is selling in here, and then they get into trouble as it goes. So it's a form of a trap, or you could look at it as a leading pattern. I've got a little bit more to say about that kind of idea. It's always super important that you have an idea about why what you're doing works. And that's why I say this. Yeah, you want to know why it works. The reason it works is because you've got traders that are trapped, hence the name trap trader oscillator. But trap trader oscillator can also show you a leading order flow. It can also show you, and I'll discuss this a little bit more in just a second, it can also show you, unlike any other order flow indicator, order flow that is outside of the bar, outside of the bar. So, but this notion of defended, quote unquote, because these areas are defended when it doesn't quite get out the bottom there and then carries through, the reason we call it that is because traders got trapped in there. And having traders trapped in a directional move can be a key to trading success. Now, the bars might not show you the counter order flow. Yeah. And so it's important to have a metric of order flow that can show you that. At a minimum, this kind of a pattern, this defended notion in general, is showing you scared traders that are getting out too early at a minimum. Most traders are wrong most of the time. And so ultimately that's inclined to be on your side. So only the trap trader oscillator advanced can show you this kind of thing. And it's independent of price in this respect. So only the trap trader oscillator can show you order flow that is outside the price bars. What's an example of that? An encompassing pattern. Yeah. Or simply the fact that you'll see some of these don't get retracement, but you will see it in the overlap in the bars. Sometimes you'll get overlap in the bars going up long before the reversal actually occurs. And so there's just tons of patterns that you can identify with this. You can do all of this in all of the various trap trader oscillator modes, and boy, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of them in the trap trader oscillator version 15. Yeah, trap trader oscillator advanced version 15. So, there's a couple examples of this on the screen. Please don't send me an email asking me what are my exact settings for all this. That's not what I'm trying to do for you here. I'm trying to teach you the concept. If you've got the trap trader oscillator, go in and always test before you trade and trade the way you test. Almost any permutation of the trap trader oscillator, you can use this concept, in other words. Yeah. But always test before you trade and trade the way you test. In some cases, what is being shown here can also be done on the reversal bars. Yeah, and so you could consider that also. You can further pattern classify these kinds of patterns that I'm showing you by which bar it applies to in the sequence following a reversal bar. You could do it, you could say, well, I'm only going to do it where I'm getting it on the first continuation bar following, or I'm only going to do it where I'm broken out, as in the example that I gave here, and I'm getting the overlapping kind of a pattern. But there are just so many of these. It's really a pretty cool place to get your focus. And again, my intent is to show you how you can trade in long runs of continuation bars. Earlier today, well, I think maybe, let me just take a look here. Yeah, you get these very long strings of continuation bars, and you want to be able to have some strategy for trading on those if you missed it, quote unquote. I don't like the term miss, but like if you missed it right there, you still have the opportunity to get yourself in if you have the vision that this is going higher. Yeah. In many ways, a triggering system like what I'm showing you here is the important thing about it is about whether or not you can manage your risk when you get into a trade. Yeah. So triggering systems, or signals, if you will, are really awesome for managing what? Risk, and not as much for making a determination. I mean, I can't tell you how many trades I take in a day that end up getting scalped out, and then I get caught in some of these big trades. You know? And so the triggering system itself, most trading signals are not necessarily about it's going to go a certain distance from that point in and of themselves. Typically, something smaller like a signal does not predict something bigger like a run of 5, 6, 7, 8 continuation bars. So what we're discussing here is one of many actionable patterns I've developed on the Trap Trader Oscillator. If you go to the Trap Trader Oscillator on the IndicatorSmart website, there's a document there on the Trap Trader Oscillator Advanced where I show a whole bunch of different concepts for that. Now, these videos, I share these videos, these broad stroke concepts and uses pretty much for our existing customers, although some new folks will find us, yeah. And our customers will find their own themes and variations and work with their own trading. And I'm always open to questions, of course. Always ask me if you have a question. The Smart Super Renko price bars we're using here also enable users to define their own liquidity pockets to help ensure robustness. Now, there's another concept, and I'd already alluded to it in a way. Oh, I might only allow it to trigger on the first continuation bar. I'll only let it do it on the first 4 continuation bars, or I'll only do it before the Trap Trader Oscillator is out of bounds, etc. Yeah. But the concept of probability inversion says the more sequential continuation bars you have, the more likely a reversal is going to happen as a baseline metric. And this concept is taught in the trading room. Yeah. There's decades of knowledge in this video that I've shared with you. You could watch it many times, and more may be revealed in time on subsequent viewings. So, for example, you can come back and see it again in a week or 10 days, set something on your calendar, and you might see things in it that you didn't see before. I've had this chart in front of you the whole time while I'm talking about these concepts, yeah? So subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified when we post new stuff, yeah? The branches come before the leaves, which comes before the fruit, yeah? So trust that process. You see it working in nature, it's natural, yeah? The branches come before the leaves, it comes before the fruit. And when we're trading, we're going for the fruit, yeah? Going for the fruit. So you got to have the tree, the branches on the tree to hang the fruit on, yeah. And that's what these videos are about. Trap Trader Oscillator has been decades in the making. It can be used as a standalone trading solution. It's unique. It can show you things that you can't see with any other order flow tool. It's not a mass market indicator. Its distribution has been very carefully managed and very intentionally managed. And at present, low-cost purchase and lease options are available. You can see the website resources that I'll show you in just a second. Yeah, there's a lot of these kinds of patterns using Trap Trader Oscillator. in various contexts. Some may be better for you than others, depending on your unique case. Yeah, some people, I'll show them something that takes them a year before they see it. And it's just a simple thing. It's not a matter of intelligence or anything like that. What you see right now is what's important to you, because you've got at least some semblance of a tree there that you can start hanging fruit on. Yeah. So by subscribing to the channel, you can also benefit as I share going forward. Let's cover a couple more little things here. In this day trading video, we showed E-mini S&P futures with the Trap Trader Oscillator Advanced, and we used the Smart Super Renko price bars, the Smart Momentum, the Smart Dynamic Envelopes, the Smart Dynamic Acceleration Detection, the Smart Periods, and the Smart Price Bands were also on the chart if you're interested in those details. We also discussed in various ways issues traders face dealing with how your mind works as it pertains to trading. See manifestingyourfuture.guru, or you can go to IndicatorSmart.com and you can learn more about manifesting your future. You can learn more about the trading room, and you can learn more about Trap Trader Oscillator resources that I've given you in this video. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and let me share with you how to day trade continuation bars using Trap Trader Oscillator order flow patterns. And all resources are available there at IndicatorSmart. Thanks for joining me on this, guys. Thank you. Happy New Year, and we'll see you again on the next one.